The main thing that I wanted to do was tell John and Susan and Daniel and Sam just how much we appreciated all the work that they've done over the years. It's very rare that you see a family or a preacher work with a congregation for 20 years, and that is just amazing to me how dedicated they've been to the family at Mid-Cities and to just this church. And I thank you both, or all four, for being so dedicated to it. There's so many times and there's so many things that Susan and John have done behind the scenes that no one has seen. They've never talked about it. They've never tried to get praise or glory for it. But countless times I know of where they have worked behind the scenes and just done tremendous things to help support this church and to support various families. And I just love you for it. I appreciate all that you guys have done over the years. There's obviously some fun times and some great times that we've had together. Times that I remember back when our kids were small and Lawson about burned down the old trailer. I remember those times. I remember the look on your face, John, when you heard that. You said, man, I wish it would have burned. So, and yeah, I think we all did. The times, John, you and I had on Trek are memories that I'll carry with me throughout my whole life. And I love you very, very much. And I love you too, Susan. You have been a tremendous helpmate to your husband and to the ministry here. You've been just a great support. And thank you very much for all the work. We love you.
We're sad to see you go. We're excited for your new adventure.
You're gonna have to trade pictures growing up and you growing old, and have to make a couple trips up to Arkansas to visit you guys. It's really hard saying goodbye to you both. Obviously, you've been a big part of my life for about 29 years now, and we want to continue to be part of y'all's life because we want this little guy to get to know y'all like we do.
I'll make sure to eat lots of macaroni and cheese from Chop House for you.
The Stroop family, some of us are known as being somewhat out of the box, so here you go. I'll miss the infrequent haircuts. Your turn.
Okay. I will miss all the good sermons, especially the numbered ones. Those are pretty good. And the hugs. And the hugs. I will miss the hugs.
I'll miss the Trek cutoff pants that you can zip at multiple levels.
And I'll miss greatly the hidden sarcasm that only those who have a true deep understanding will get.
We know y'all's new church is getting a great blessing, and we're definitely gonna miss y'all, but we know that God has plans for you up in Arkansas, and He needs you there, so we love y'all. That's all I got.
Me too.
You wanna say anything? You want to say anything? No?
Now it's your turn, because you'll miss the Christmas cookies. I'm sorry. But I think UPS probably delivers to Rogers, Arkansas. I'm not real sure on that, but we'll see.
Yeah. You'll miss the smiles and the sausage balls.
You'll miss not.
Apparently you're not going to miss anything from him.
Well, you'll miss Dad's chili.
Hey, wait a minute. You're gonna miss the Tourette syndrome speaking out in the middle of your sermon comments. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
John and Susan, I have such mixed emotions about making this talk. I just want to tell you that I love you very much, and I'll always be grateful to you for the love that you showed Wayne. He was very happy in this church and loved listen to John and his stories. And Susan, he loved your hugs. But there's one thing I had a hard time with. I had a wreck, and I ended up with black eyes. And I was sitting in the congregation being real quiet, not calling attention to myself. And John, you just had to call attention to me with the black eyes. And Wayne made the remark that I sassed him too much. So I'll forgive you for that if you'll come back and see us often. There's so many memories that it would take all day to even start them about you two. But we'll hope you have a great time in your new mission and everything goes right for you. And we love you always.
I'll remember the time that, John, when you came and stayed with me when Matthew was having this little surgery on his thumb, just a little surgery, and you came and stayed with us, me and Ruth Ann, the whole time. And I'll miss Susan, I'm remembering Susan. The time we had communion together at one of the ladies' retreats.
I'll remember all the hugs. I really like the hugs. I'll also remember the laughs and the trek, and with Susan, the church camp, and the working with the kids.
I'll miss, Susan, your paintings because they were, I'll remember your excellent artist hand because you were always great with that.
What about John?
Well, I'll remember John because...
Yes, he's married to Susan.
Yeah. You can't forget him.
I'll just remember Susan's eternal eye rolling during some of the sermons and stories. You know, the stories will be absent, but the eye rolling will continue, just in a different place. So hang in there, Susan. Yeah.
We love you.
Bye.
We'll come visit. That's a threat, not a promise. So.
We just wanted to thank you so much for being a part of our lives over this past year. As you know, it's been a life-changing year for us, and we are going to miss you, but not really, because we're going to Skype for Life Group, right? Love you.
How in the world do you tell two people who are so loved what you mean to us? So I just wrote down a couple of things. Susan, I just want to thank you for your example to me of Christ's unconditional love. Your ability to look into people's hearts and see good inspires me, and it's something I'm really praying for. And John, I want to thank you for your love of Christ that shows in your compassion for the lost. Your perseverance is evidence of Christ's grace, and you've made me more aware of the people around me, and I thank you for that. I know God is clearing the way for you guys. I know that He has wonderful blessings in store for you, and I just want you to know that you always have a home here. You have many homes here, and please come back and see us. The Wrights house is always open.
Hey, thanks for everything. We really enjoyed everything. I know we're going to see you soon, and please keep in touch, and we love y'all.
John and Susan, I just want to tell you that you will be missed here. I think you already know that, but Deb and I in particular will miss you. Our time together has been truly a family experience, as I mentioned to the congregation last week. We have been in church all our lives, but never had the family feel as much as we have at Mid-Cities, and you've been a part of that. Our arrival some years back was in an effort to be less encumbered by tradition and more involved in the actual work of the church and the church body, and our group has met that need for us in many ways. You two have been a definite part of a greater closeness to God for both Debbie and I, and we want to thank you for that. We've worked through some really tough times together, and we've been involved in a lot of great accomplishments. We've shared the most recent years of our life together in many ways. Our lives are better as a result of the association with you. Our Christian friends like you guys are just irreplaceable. Thank you John. Thank you for the support, your support of the Shepherds. Susan as well. And John, thank you for your time in the pulpit and this in service to Deb and I and our kids and our family. Your presence will be missed here, as I mentioned earlier, but know that the new place that God has chosen for you will take you to new places as well. As you help those that you'll be associated with, and as you grow up together with that group of people, our prayer for you guys is that God's speed would be with you always, as it has been here. We will sorely miss your presence here.
John and Susan, you're the reason we came here. Because, John, you made such an impact on Micah. And she said, you gotta go, and didn't give us a choice. So we came here. And when we got here, we fell in love with your family, with this family, and now we don't want to go anywhere else, but we're gonna miss you guys. I can't even start to begin to think about the memories you've made for us, and the memories we'll still be making since you're going to be officiating at Micah's wedding. And I can't even begin to thank you for all the times that you've listened to us, and all the times that you, Susan especially, have held my hand and hugged me and told me everything was going to be okay.
Well, that's certainly a hard act to follow, but I've been doing it for a long time. So just want to say, like Pam said, thanks for the memories and just being the friends that y'all are, and being able to just talk to y'all just like anytime, anywhere, about anything, especially sports and swapping barbecue places with John. So,
and we thank you for Laura.
Yes.
We never would have had Laura without y'all, and she has added so much to our lives, and we appreciate that you thought enough of us to let us keep her.
Amen.
And we love y'all, and we will be coming to see you, and we'll be topless, so deal with it, okay?
I'm going to miss you. Even though we haven't associated outside the church that much, I have come to love both of you. 3 years ago, when I first came to this church, I was one really lost soul. And I've been to many churches in my life. But the first day I was here, I knew that I cared more for this church than any other church I've ever been. Every time I walked in the door, I just felt peace. I just felt good. I've even made comments that I wish there was a bed here that I could rent one night a week. Just dim the lights and be here alone. I've enjoyed John's sermons. I've enjoyed Susan's friendship. As a matter of fact, I think she's the first person that ever called me a good man, and I won't ever forget that. So I wish y'all well in all your endeavors, and I hope y'all love Arkansas as much as I think I would like Arkansas. And if you're ever back in town, need a place to stay, don't hesitate to call us. If I'm ever in Arkansas, if I can get past all the hillbillies, I might come see you. But before y'all do leave town, there's one favor that I would like to ask Susan. I want to hear the Tarzan yell 2 more times. So God bless y'all, and have a safe, happy, long life.
thank you for your love and your support. And please, please come back to see us. We love you.
I just want to say thank you, John and Susan, for being a part of our family for the past 25 plus years. Being there at Fort Worth Christian with you and throughout the Mid-City's growth, so forth. We love you dearly. We will miss you, and we'll try to stop by every time we go by Branson, which the next time looks like might be October.
Well, I want to ditto all that, and also thank you for being here for us throughout the years. You've helped with our family, with our grandchildren, with sports. You've been there at the birth of some, been at the funeral of some, and John, I want you back for my funeral. Thanks.
Well, sweet John and Susan, this is hard. They told me I had to condense this down to just a few words, but I can't. It's hard. So this is just a preview of the 3-page letter, front and back, with pictures that you'll be receiving in the future. I just want to thank both of y'all for all your love, prayers, and support for me and my kids and David through all these years. David wishes he could be here with you, but he's not allowed out in public yet. But he loves y'all, and my kids love you both just like I do. And I want to thank you so much for all that you've taught us about the Lord and His message, and taught us about life through just your actions and the way you live. You mean so much to us, and there are just so many memories that I want to share with you, which I will in the letter. Memories of John at church camp, being a kid, and midnight devos out under the stars were just so special. You relate so well to the teens and the kids, and I feel sorry for people who never got to do church camp with you, John. And Susan, you're just so precious, so sweet. God gave you a gift for always making other people feel good about themselves. So thank you so much. You're just so precious, and I have many good memories of girl pool parties and in the summer, and going to Arkansas to see your sweet, sweet mama. And there's just so many that I'm so thankful for. And I'm just so blessed to have you both in my life and as brothers and sisters in Christ. And it is an honor to be able to call you friends.
So I wasn't going to do this, because how do you put almost 30 years in a soundbite? But I couldn't not. John, you have given me more over the time we've known each other than I can even begin to tell you. I've always joked about the fact that you're the only preacher that's never put me to sleep even once. Well, maybe once. But you have challenged me to go deeper. You have inspired me. Some of my favorite memories are when you introduced me to camp in 1986. And I remember saying, why can't we bring some of this mountaintop back to town with us, back to church with us? And you, through our experiences together here the last 20 plus years, I think we've brought some of the mountain back to town with us. Susan, one word, precious. I know we've joked about that, and Honestly, at first I thought you were too precious for me because I knew I wasn't nearly as precious as that, but the longer I know you and the deeper our friendship has grown, I've really come to appreciate what precious means, and you are precious to me. Beyond words. I'm not going to say I'm going to miss you because we're connected. We're connected for life. And I know geography's not going to change that. We will always be in one another's lives. And I look forward to what God's going to do with yours there in Arkansas. I love you both.
First of all, John and Susan, I just want to tell you how much I love you. I can remember the first time we came to Mid-Cities, and just the love that we felt from the two of you. You just were so warm, welcoming, and just your hearts were just so open. And I just remember that. I will always remember the little barbs that I got from John. They came pretty regularly at the beginning, but then it got nicer after a while. But Susan, it's been a delight to be able to be around you more, and I've seen your work with the children and everything that you have done. You have been laborers for the Lord, just hard workers, caring people. I've seen the way people have come to you, John, and talk to you about problems because they know that you care. And I know wherever you go that the people around you will be blessed. And I'm just thankful for the time that we've had together here at Mid-Cities, and I pray God's deepest blessings on the two of you.
I want to start with Susan, kind of the unsung heroine of this congregation and all of the work that you've done, Susan. A lot of it I don't even know what you've done. I'm just looking at the tip of the iceberg. But I know that you've been the quiet worker, accomplishing so very much here. That you got here early on Sundays and did a lot of work in the kitchen, and you were the one to wash out the coffee pots afterwards, and the both of you have just done a fantastic job here at Mid-Cities. And John, I appreciate the friendship that you've extended to me over the last years that since we've been here. And it's meant a great deal to me. And I'm just joining Gina in saying we love you both so very much. And our prayer is that God will really bless the two of you as you begin this new venture. You have both been an example to me on how to handle difficult situations.
Yes.
And brother, I tip my hat to you and to Susan as well. This transition couldn't have gone more smoothly, and it's because of you. But I just want you to know we love you dearly. God bless you both.
John and Susan, I really don't want to do this because you know I'm a very shy person. But I hate that you're going, and I love that God's using you. I just need to tell John that the main reason we ended up at Mid-Cities was because Kara just adored you so much, and I will always be grateful for what you did with our kids. For now, what I'm going to miss most about the two of you is praying with you. I feel a special bond with the prayer time at Mid-Cities, and that's what I miss about you the most. And of course, John's sick humor. So I wish you the best. I pray God's blessings on you. I know He has something great in store for you, and you can expect a visitor.
Hello, John and Susan. I guess you know who I am. I don't have to introduce myself, but I think the first time we met you was 1980 something in Lake Tenkiller. I'm not even sure Daniel was born yet. I don't remember him being there.
Sam was a little bitty, about 2 years old.
So anyway, you had brown hair. I had brown hair. Neither one of us do now. So anyway, besides that, I guess I really appreciate
all the words you've used, and not from necessarily in front of the church, but otherwise also when we're out to eat or on track or wherever we might have been. Appreciate the many, many thoughts that you've stuck in my head, and I go, I don't know about that. I got to think about that. Especially like story number 42, and probably one of the coolest things you did is I had 3 boys. You know, I had everything I needed, and now I got 3 daughter-in-laws, and mainly because of you. So, seems how you married all 3 of them. It worked out really well. I tell you which one's number 1, but I'm still, you know, they're still fighting for that. That competition's still going on. So, anyway, appreciate y'all. Go ahead.
Well, I just want to echo that about the boys. I mean, you know, we came from Kansas at a time when I felt like the kids were really struggling with their faith, and I think that you and Susan and Mid-Cities was just so important to with the men they are today and the spiritual lives that they have today, and especially you, John. And I think that shows in that they, you know, they let their wives pretty much plan the wedding, but they were pretty adamant about you would be the one that would preside over the wedding, and that was really important to them. For Susan, I just thank you so much for sharing your mom with me, especially during the times when my mom was struggling so, and your mom was like a second mom to me. And I love our trips to Mena. I can be myself. I just feel so natural and so at home there. And you're just so gracious, and your mom's so gracious, and I feel like part of your family. And I'm really going to miss you. But we just want you to know that anytime you're in town, our house is open. We have plenty of room. Come summer and you can swim, go to the park, run, do whatever you guys want to do. But you're always welcome in our home, and I hope you will come and see us. And the girls, the Fort Worth girls, plan to come and see you. So hope you've got room for us. We love you, and we're going to miss you.
If it's a whole bunch of girls, I might even come.
Truth, and I will daily lift my head, for I will always sing of when your love came down, yeah. I could sing of your love forever. 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 And the sea, your river runs with love for me, and I will open up my heart and let the healer set me free. I'm happy to be in the truth, and I will daily lift my head, for I will always sing of when your love came down. I could sing of your love forever. I could sing of your love forever.
Lifting my hands, giving you the praise, Lord. Over the mountains and across the seas, you brought me so far, you set me free. So everybody raise them. I'm saying everybody praise. I'm gonna sing of your love for the rest of my days. I love you, Lord.